You walk into a room you have never been in before. A stranger says a sentence you have never heard. And then, with no warning at all, the floor drops out of the present moment. Because some quiet voice underneath your thoughts insists, with total certainty, that all of this has happened before. The same room, the same words, the same light falling the same way. You know it is impossible. You have never been here. And yet the feeling does not care what you know. It lasts a second, maybe two. Then it slides away, and the room is just a room again. We call this deja vu, French for already seen. Almost everyone has felt it, and almost everyone in the moment reaches for the same wild explanations. A past life, a premonition, a glitch in some hidden machinery of the universe. The feeling is so strange, so specific, that it seems to demand a strange and specific cause. But the truth, as far as researchers can tell, is stranger than any of that. Because deja vu may not be a memory at all. It may be a memory that misfires. Here is the plain question underneath the eeriness. Why would a brand new moment feel old? And the first answer most people land on is the obvious one. That somewhere, somehow, you really did see this before. You forgot the trip, forgot the photo, forgot the dream. The familiarity is real. You just lost track of where it came from. Sometimes that is genuinely what happens, but it cannot explain the cases that matter. The moments that are provably, completely new, and still arrive soaked in that impossible sense of return. For those, we need to look at how the feeling of familiarity actually works. And that is where it gets interesting. Because familiarity, it turns out, is not the same thing as memory. Researchers describe them as two different systems. One is recollection, the part that retrieves the actual scene, the where and the when, the story of how you know a thing. The other is familiarity, a faster, dumber signal that simply says, "This fits, you have met this before," without any of the details attached. Most of the time, these two run together. You see an old friend, you feel the warmth, and the warmth comes with the name, the history, the proof. But they are separate systems, which means, in principle, one can fire without the other. And that, the leading idea goes, is exactly what deja vu is. The familiarity signal goes off, strong, insistent, unmistakable. But there is no real memory behind it, no scene to retrieve, no when, no where. Just the raw sensation of having been here, floating free, attached to nothing. Your brain is shouting that this is old, and there is simply no old thing for it to be pointing at. Now hold on, because here is the part that makes deja vu so much more than a hiccup. The truly uncanny feeling, the chill of it, is not the false familiarity by itself. It is what comes next. Because at the very same instant, another part of your brain checks the claim. It looks for the memory the familiarity is promising, and it finds nothing. There is no record. This moment is new. So you end up holding two things that should never be held at once. I have been here. I have not been here. Both. Fully. Together. And the unsettling shiver of deja vu may be the feeling of your own mind catching itself in an error. A brief, conscious glimpse of your brain, fact-checking reality, and flagging the result as wrong. Think about what that means. The strangeness you feel is not a message from another life. It is closer to a system noticing its own mistake. Somewhere in there, a quiet process is constantly asking, does this add up? Does this match the record? And almost always it does its work in silence, and you never notice. Deja vu may be one of the rare moments you actually feel the check happening. The alarm goes off, and for once, You hear it. That fits with one more clue. Deja vu is not spread evenly across a life. It seems to be far more common when we are young, and it fades as we get older. And it shows up more when we are tired, stressed, run down, when the machinery is not quite at its best. That pattern points away from the mystical and back toward the mechanical. This looks like a wiring quirk in a memory system that is still settling or briefly overstrained. A glitch, yes, but a revealing one. The kind of glitch that only shows up because the system underneath is so good and so busy that you almost never catch it working. It is worth saying plainly, nobody has this fully solved. The exact mechanism is genuinely unsettled, and honest researchers will tell you so. The familiarity without memory idea is the most compelling one we have, not the final word. Deja vu is hard to study precisely because it is so brief, so private, and refuses to arrive on command. But step back, and there is something almost reassuring waiting in it. We tend to assume our sense of reality is just delivered to us, that the world simply arrives through our eyes, finished and true. Deja vu quietly says otherwise. It is evidence that your experience of right now is not a window. It is a verdict, a judgment your brain reaches, moment after moment, by checking what is coming in against everything that came before, and deciding what is real, what is new, what you can trust. That goes on every second of your life, under everything you think and feel. You only notice it on the rare occasion it stumbles. And when it does, when the familiarity fires with nothing behind it, and the checker catches the lie, you get that small electric shiver. Not a window into another world. A glimpse of the one inside your own head. The one that builds this one, caught for half a second in the act of getting it slightly wrong. So the next time it happens, the room you have never seen, the words you have never heard, and that impossible certainty that you have stood here before. You do not need a past life to explain it. You are not remembering another world. You are watching this one being made.